Deliberate life creation, to me, just means that I'm doing everything that I want to do.
I'm itchy. What? What's so funny about that?
You're funny.
I'm itchy. You know when you're just aware of the fact that you're itchy?
Yes.
Sometimes I get that way if I'm on the elliptical. When I know I have to be somewhere for a certain time, it's like...
I get itchy every night before I fall asleep. I have to scratch
yeah,
all over the place
when I have
for like
to be in
5
one
minutes.
position for...
Yeah. I always think I'm waking you up.
Me?
Yeah.
Have you just met me? Fall asleep in the movie theater.
It feels strange to be in front of the camera and to be exposing myself. But it's cool. If I could just let my guard down a little bit and relax, I'm sure I could see the excitement in it.
You know, being in front of the camera sometimes can be a little frustrating, a little nerve-wracking, and yeah, a little unnatural. It feels a little unnatural, so I think there's going to be a learning curve to this show. I want to tell you about my book. I started off with a book in mind, and it kind of changed as I was writing it. All of a sudden, it just took on a life of its own. The book became the almost curriculum for the coaching program. I realized that there was kind of like a prerequisite that you needed to go through before you could even do some of the things I was talking about. I realized if you're doing all of this stuff, if you're visualizing and you're, you know, thinking positively and all this stuff, it's not really going to work for you unless you've got a foundation of appreciation in your life. I think appreciation is misunderstood. Appreciation is really just the key to looking at the world, at any situation that you're in, and finding something good about it. There's always something good about it. Always. And believe me, I know it's easier said than done, because I am the first person to just find things that piss me off. I want $1 million, I want a better job, I want to be fit, I want all of this stuff. You're putting out the vibration for that anytime that you're really working on that. But if you've got an underlying foundation of fear or resentment, then you're sending out the opposite vibrations at the same time. And I think that that's why a lot of people are learning about law of attraction and wondering why 3 years later they're still in this house, not in the big mansion that they want, you know? I mean, you and I are two people that really work on this stuff, and we still aren't in the house that we want. So, you know, why didn't it happen like overnight?
The house that I want should have a really big kitchen.
The house that I want is big.
Set up for a cook.
Big is the word to describe the house that I want.
I definitely want a lot of property, preferably maybe close to the water.
I want the big pool. I want the big office with the big windows overlooking the big deck.
Has to feel like home. I want it to be mine.
You watch The Secret, and, you know, I thought about the bicycle. Why didn't my grandpa bring me a bicycle? You know? Well, that's one reason why. But, you know, why didn't somebody just give me the house? I've been thinking about the house constantly. We had pictures of the house in our house. We drove by the house. We looked at the house. We talked to people about the house. We called our real estate agent, went to look at the house. But still, we don't have the house. Why? Here I am, this law of attraction guy, but I'm still struggling with the same thing that everybody struggles. Why? Because I'm a human being. And we all have this. We all struggle with this stuff. It's because there's just an underlying foundation of fear, resentment, you know, not making you laugh. Really?
I don't know. I just feel like silly.
That's funny, I know. Because these are the conversations we have. We just know the camera's on.
I know, and you still have this tone about you.
Bobby in front of the camera. As if the audience is sitting in the living room looking at him. Not that I'm comfortable and relaxed in myself. This is my reality show. We're just so casually sitting around talking right now.
We're crazy if we talk about that.
I don't care if people think we're crazy. If people think we're crazy, then this isn't the show for them.
Well, Kayla and Luke are both at the age where they're starting to wonder about death and life and how it starts, but a lot, especially Luke, a lot about death. I told him that there really is no such thing as death, that we just aren't in these particular physical bodies anymore, but we're always us inside, and then when we leave this particular body, we can come back and be something else if we'd like.
I think they already are thinking that, you get old and die.
No, we need to start teaching them about eternal life, and there's life and there's life. You live and then you live more.
Although I did tell Luke about that, coming back. He wants to come back as a rhinoceros, I think he said.
And then there's living and living and living and living a long, long time.
Well, that's what I mean. I think she's already conditioned to think that, when you get to be grandparents' age, you die.
We want them to know what Source teaches about this, that we are Source energy. We're spiritual beings in physical bodies, not just these meat suits. And that when we leave these bodies, we don't lose anything of who we are. All right, so my book, I'm really proud of it. All of a sudden, it was all laid out. And I thought that the book I was going to write, because the other ones that I had started writing were all very businessy. The new book that I wrote is really all about connecting to your soul and really creating the life that you want. And that's the book that I know I've had in me for a long time, and I've finally been able to start getting that out of me. I thought I was going to just take that model and kind of expand it. And as I started writing it, it was a completely different book. And there were some things in there, like that prerequisite chapter about appreciation that I never really talked about before. Appreciation in this manner had never really occurred to me before. That appreciation has to be the bedrock, the underlying foundation of everything that you do. But if you have an underlying foundation of fear or resentment, then you're sending out the opposite vibrations at the same time. The idea of it being like the foundation of your entire life. Set up appreciation as the foundation. Then start designing what you want on top of that. Because then you have appreciation and you just have this strong vibration going out of appreciation that's carrying everything that you want on its back. But if you don't have that appreciation, maybe you're appreciating on some days, maybe you're feeling fearful on some days, maybe you're very resentful on some days, maybe you're depressed on some days, maybe you're happy on some days, and so your foundation is just all over the place. So some days you're sending out good vibrations about what you want, and other days you're sending out the wrong vibrations about what you want, and 3 years later you're still in the rental house that you don't want. When did I decide to write this book?
Yeah.
We're talking about all these things, and Bobby's telling me about all these things that he wants to do, all these big plans, and it dawned on me that we're doing it.
Well, it all kicked into place when they asked me to be in the movie. And I talked to Don Boyer, the producer, and I was asking him, I was like, why me? I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm not known in this industry. He's like, no, Bobby, we bring people in. We have people like Bob Proctor in the movie and other people that are well established in this industry, but we also bring in new teachers.
All of a sudden, I'm overwhelmed with the fact that you're in a movie.
This is happening. I know.
You're
we don't think
Uber
about this every day. And
you're going to be Bob Proctor.
Exactly.
Bobby Donohue's.
Exactly.
We're living them, we're doing them, we're planning them, but we're doing them. And it's exciting. And I wanted to remind him of that. Sometimes he forgets. He forgets to stop and appreciate along the way and celebrate.
And so, so I asked Stephanie, I'm like, why me? She's like, don't you pay attention to the things you're putting out there? And I looked at what I was putting out there and I realized I'm putting it out there.
The truth is, I have created all of this already. Planet Bonehead is 5 years old. Be a Rock Star, the concept of it is 2 or 3 years old now. And all of these concepts in my music and my writing and my blogging and my design business and Bonehead, they've all been around for a long time, and I've been incrementally putting them together, and I get one little victory after another, but I'm always focused on what's not done yet. I'm always focused on, well, this is great, I got this, but this isn't finished yet, or I haven't gotten to here yet, or this is where I'm looking to get, I'm just not there yet. I really need to remember to appreciate each little victory.
But this book could be the big thing for you.
Yes, I know.
It could be.
So, I said,
And are you
okay,
going to write the book in the context that this is you're channeling David, the way Esther and
Totally.
Jerry do it?
Totally.
Okay.
There's a whole chapter on my relationship with David and how I really feel like David even just dictated parts of this book. Because like that chapter on appreciation, I was writing it, and I was like, where did this come from? I didn't even know this stuff 5 minutes ago.
If there's anything that might be a tough pill to swallow when it comes to this show and what I'm doing, it may be the concept of David. David is my soul. David is my inner being, my higher self. I've learned how to communicate with my soul verbally. And in the case of this book, literally writing a lot of what's in that book.
So now I'm going to be in this movie. The movie's coming out in December at the end of 2011. And so I'm sitting around thinking, this is such an opportunity for me to transform my business the way I've always wanted to transform it. From a simple graphic design studio to this production company that makes books and TV shows and stuff. And the thing that I will be about the most is law of attraction.
Well, you could be like Bob Proctor and James Arthur Ray, because they were businessmen that just applied the law of attraction to.
Exactly.
They have they're life coaches. They have books. Well, is that the direction you want to go?
I think so. I want to explore it. I really do.
I'm just saying I can help you do that.
I know you can. That's who you are.
I always remember Jerry and Esther said that they started this, but never went crazy about a marketing plan because they wanted the right people. They wanted to attract people.
I'm attracting the right people. I know that. And when I relax about it and allow
Just trust.
and trust, I'm telling you, things happen.
Bobby needs to trust. He needs to relax, just be more trusting, and not control every little teeny tiny step and micromanage it along the way. He needs to trust that it's going to work out how he intended. Just go for the ride and enjoy the journey and trust. A little more trust. Did I mention trust?
You're going to be a motivational speaker.
I am going to be a motivational speaker. And
You already are.
when I talk to Gina, when I talk to Tony, when I talk to John, when I talk with you, even people on Facebook that are asking me, hey, I'm going through this and I'm what's your take on this?
Well, I know. Watching that show last night that we watched made me think too. I could do it too.
You can do it too.
I feel drawn to that.
I know. The only reason I started channeling David was because you started channeling Hope. I was watching you do it, and I was like, I can do that. And what I want people to understand is that they can do it too. Everybody can do this.
Yeah, I guess I just get nervous because I'm shy.
Yeah.
To be a speaker, motivational speaker, makes me nervous.
Laura could absolutely be a motivational speaker. She's the most amazing woman I've ever met in my life. She doesn't give herself enough credit for what she's able to do. And she doesn't realize yet the strength that she has and the value that she brings to everything that we're doing here. I couldn't do what I do without her doing it with me. I can't wait for the day when she realizes that she's even better at this than I am.
So the book is a product. I still want to be a designer. I don't want to give up on that end of my business because I do like it. It's just that I don't want my business to be all about that.
Well, you feel like there's more in you.
There's
That's
so
all.
much more in me,
You wanna be able to do
and I was
more.
never completely satisfied by just doing that. So Be a Rock Star is becoming more the core part of my business, and Fuel Blue
I'm making like the behind the scenes business. It has taken me years to figure this out. Years. And when I just started doing whatever it is that I felt like doing, it all just worked out. Nobody ever questioned. No, nobody's questioning it. They're looking at it and they're rallying behind it and saying, yeah! People get behind genius. And I don't mean that as a pat on my own back. I mean that everybody's got their own genius. Everybody's got that thing that they're awesome at and that they're the rock star at, that they are the best at doing. And when you just do that, everybody rallies behind it because everybody's attracted to genius. It's as simple as that.